Okay, I'm going to make a short video to show you how to torque down one of these Chatham wheel locks for a Chevrolet Equinox. This is the genuine wheel lock that fits and looks the best on these, but there is a problem when you try to torque them down to 140 foot-pounds. So I'll show you what I rigged up to do this. Now, I worked on cars for over 20 years, so when I started to torque these down to 140 foot-pounds like the rest of the wheel lug nuts, I hit a problem. They kept slipping off, and I'll show you why in a minute. But first I'll show you how I rigged this up so you can maybe do the same if you want to do this at home. So take a look here. See this right here, all these boards and stuff? Well, when you park your car, the wheel lug is never going to be in the same place, right? So what's going to happen, what happened to me is when I tried to torque this down, the wrench kept slipping off. Why did it? And it felt funny, and I couldn't figure out at first why. But the point is, what happened is I first started out using a deep socket, and the deep socket works really well. This is an impact socket, so it's pretty sturdy, right? It works real good on the regular lug nuts like this, right? Torques them down to 140, no problem. What happens on this thing here? This is the key for the Chatham wheel locks, which are real cool because they, I don't know if you can see this, but they have the end looks just like the regular wheel lugs, but this part here, right here, it spins, so it doesn't do anything, right? Okay, so anyway, so when I went to torque them down, the wrench would slip off this way. It would fall off, and that's because these are not very deep. See that? This is the only engagement part is really shallow. It doesn't take much to make it slip off, so you need to have a real firm grip. It needs to be right in there and pushed in tight when you torque it down, right? This thing will hold 140 foot-pounds, but it tends to slip off if there's any tipping. So what I did, and I couldn't figure out at first, what I did is I got a short socket, this one here, another impact socket for strength. You could use a thin walled socket too, probably, but this is 140 foot-pounds. I figured I'd use a thick one. And then what I did is I stacked up some boards, right? So, and the reason I have all these different boards here is because, like I said, you don't know where this is going to end up. So what you want to do is you want to end up with a setup like this, for when this is on and engaged right here. You got to turn it till it engages, right? Okay, so there it goes in. You want this on here like this, and you want something under it that's right up against this right here so it can't tip. Then all you have to do is push in on it to make sure it's engaged, and when you do your 140 foot-pounds, right? So that's the idea. And you're going to have to probably shim with different boards. You're not going to be able to just use the 2x4. It's not going to come up to the right spot. So what you need to do is you're going to need to shim with maybe some pieces like this or like this, or even you might even need something like this. What I did with this is put these on the other end of the board to make it come up on this, in this case, the way the car parked this time with just the right height. And then when you get ready, you can just push in, and you can torque these to 140 foot-pounds. I didn't think you could at first. I didn't know how to do it without it slipping off. So this is just a short video, hot tip for you guys. If you want to do this at home and you got these locks and you're cussing away because you can't get the darn things torqued to 140 foot-pounds because this stupid thing here is so shallow. It's kind of a good design, but see how shallow that is? That's all it takes to slip off, and it slipped off once and I hit my head and got a headache before I figured this out. So I thought if I can help anybody else to do this without doing that and getting frustrated, why this would be a good video to share. So anyway, that's what you got. So this is a 2026 Equinox EV, and I've just put these wheel locks, the ones you get from Chevrolet. These are about $100 for this set, which is a lot, but they're the only ones that look nice and they still work good. But you just have to, if you want ones that look nice and Chevrolet, from Chevrolet, you can get kind of a deal for about $100. Otherwise they're like 120, 140, something like that, which is ridiculous. But anyway, so that's what you do, is just set this up like this so that you can rest the wrench, get a short socket, rest the wrench on it, so it pushes down. It can't tip off very easily, and you can torque them to 140 foot-pounds. So that's just my tip of the day. I thought I'd share that so it helps somebody else out. Okay.